Hello, hello. Here we are at the last video of this series on the reach model of emotional intimacy. I hope you've joined me for each and every one of these because each of them is so important in terms of creating closeness with people that you love. We're going to do a quick review and then I am going to give you an example of how to pull it all together. I'm going to give you a personal example from my own life, but quick review. Do you remember what REACH stands for? Well, luckily, I'm going to go over it with you so you don't have to remember, but you will at some point, so take notes. R is reflect. That is reflecting what the other person is saying. E is emotions. That is being able to guess at the names of the other person's emotions and share your own. A is affirm, and that's that 1-2 punch, right? Where you affirm things that you admire, respect about the other person's qualities or characteristics, and you also affirm that you're getting what they're saying. You make sure that you check in with them. Am I hearing you? Then C is care, which is your care to be close to them, to be in connection with them, your care about the relationship, how important it is to you. And then the big hard one, which is humility. Okay, I want to share with you an example of how you can pull all of this together um, based on an experience in my own life where a friend of mine had shared something with me that was very important to her and quite devastating. She had gotten some news and she shared this with me, and I responded in a way that did not land well for her. So she reached out to me, and I then used this approach with her. And this approach is really great to do, especially when you're learning to do by email or by text. Obviously, we prefer to have these kinds of conversations face to face, but especially if maybe you're just trying to get some of the wording or trying to kind of pull these different elements in, this can be a way of doing that. And if you can, and you're just face to face with someone, even if you can remember one or two or even three of them, that's awesome. But in this case, this was someone who lived far away from me, and this was by text. So I'm going to read it to you because I don't want to riff on this. I think it's important to give you the exact words that I used. So she said, I was really hurt by your reaction to my last email. I shared something so important and you were so nonchalant. Like I was just telling you how my day was. Instead of sharing these devastating news that I got. I know you love me and I love you, but your insensitivity was shocking and confusing. Ouch. The first thing I used was you're right. Your words, my words did convey a nonchalance that didn't reflect the depth of my feeling. Can you guess which one that is? Humility. I brought that one in right away. When someone is feeling hurt and they're sharing it with you, I try to start with humility. It's because it's very disarming. And I said, you let me in on something so important and devastating that you were trying to cope with when you reached out to me, and I came across nonchalant and insensitive. What do you think that one was? That one was reflect. I was reflecting what she had shared with me. You say you felt shocked and confused. It would also make sense if you felt angry with me and maybe hurt. I'm actually kind of angry with myself for the way I responded and upset that I'd let you down at a time when you reached out to me and needed me. Can you guess that one? That would be emotions, right? I'm identifying the names of her emotions and I'm sharing my own emotions. I want to make sure I'm getting you now because you are such a good friend. I have such admiration for your ability to tune in and connect with such genuine warmth. How about that one? That's affirm, right? I really affirmed what I loved about her, and also told her I really wanted to know that I was getting what she was saying. Your friendship means so much to me, and I am so glad you shared this with me because I want us to be close and for you to reach out to me, especially when you're hurting. That one was care. Right? I expressed that care. So she said, yes, I was hurt and devastated that the person I expected to understand this the most dropped the ball when I needed you the most. Maybe I expected too much. Ouch, again. Now, this isn't unusual. A lot of times, if something like this happens in an exchange, the person has been hurting for a while. It might have taken quite a bit for them to share something like this. And so they're bringing a lot of emotion to the table. And I know in my experience, sometimes I can feel like, hey, I just gave you the reach model. Shouldn't you be happy with me now? Can we move on? But don't expect that. Be willing to go a few rounds with this sometimes and come back and keep using these tools of emotional intimacy. So I said, you know what? You expected me of all people to understand and be there when you needed me the most. And that was reflecting. I said, I would feel angry if I were in your shoes. It's actually embarrassing to admit, but I can see that I dropped the ball. Now, that was emotions and humility. And it was, I mean, humility is also a lot of times for me, it's a lot of truth. I really was embarrassed um, that I really did drop the ball and I missed kind of what was happening there. I didn't get the full force of the news that you were sharing. Maybe that was my own denial. Regardless, I didn't comprehend the weight of what you were telling me. And again, that was humility. I so appreciate how consistently you and how responsive you've always been with me. That's affirm. I want to be that person because I love you and care so much about our relationship. And there's care. I want to make sure I'm hearing you. So please let me know if I'm missing something. And that was affirm. And she said, thank you. I love that you cared enough to talk it out. So right there, right, we can see that right, she was heard and we were able to repair and to feel close. You know, it's not whether these things are going to happen in relationships with people we care about, is how we repair them, what we do when they do happen, right? Do we get defensive? Do we blame? Do we shut them out? Do we blame ourselves, right? Do we get into kind of a self-hate spiral? And by doing that, we push them away, right? This is a way to really circumvent all of that so that we can stay connected and honest with ourselves and with them and stay close and create repair. Now, I want you to notice that I did not say I'm sorry in any of these, right? And my take on that is that saying I'm sorry it just requires no effort, no vulnerability, and it 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 doesn't really produce emotional intimacy. So, and this is where the reach model can, again, not only repair these kinds of ruptures, but really make them even stronger, where you're not offering platitudes, you're not just saying, oh, well, I'm really sorry, right? It's like you don't feel closer because of that, and you don't feel stronger because of that. And this is where, these kinds of ruptures and repairs can actually create closeness. They can make us stronger. And you can use this with children, you can use this with family members, and you can use this with friends. So I really hope that you'll try it. I hope you'll be willing and daring and brave enough to give this a shot and to be vulnerable with people that you care about. Take some risks and be willing to share your emotions, share the depth of your care, and just show up in those relationships. I hope this has been helpful, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next video. Take care. Bye.